Hey there, comic book fans. Gotta pop my collar. I'm back from the comic shop again this week with a lot of comics. I got 10 comics this week. Couple off the shelf, pull list stuff, a couple new first issues. First we got, actually before we show you the comic shop news, we'll show you my museum top of the printer spot cover this week, which is Daredevil 110. And I looked at this and went, that looks like John Romita, but not John Romita. And it's John Romita inking Ron Wilson. I don't think I would have guessed Ron Wilson, because I know his work from the 70s, but I don't know it that well. Very solid. The figures all have weight to them and are very solid. Nice John Romita inks. Like that cover. Been looking at this one all week. Now we'll replace it with another one. Then we got the comic shop news. Heroes Reborn. All right. Heroes Reborn really delivers. Not to me. I won't be getting Heroes Reborn, but oh well. Yeah. Marvel stuff inside. Let's see what the second page is. This looks like all Marvel stuff here, so lots of Marvel stuff going on. Oh, and Bloom, number 2. Look at that. Good cover. You'll see the cover of that one in here. And then what did I pick up? I picked up Eniac, number 2. I liked issue 1, and also I'm doing some production work for Bad Idea now. I was just getting the cover out to Eniac number 3 this morning. Ooh, bit of a chore, but once I get everything underway. But Doug Braithwaite, Matt Kint, good stuff. Oh, and some David Lapham in the back. Some more black and white David Lapham. Oop, that's the final page. First issue had a really weird David Lapham story. We're going to have to see that. And speaking of the first issue, I picked up the not first printing of this just because I wanted to see it. There's spot varnish on all these covers too. You can see the logo's got spot varnish on it. I already have the first printing, but I want for reasons I had to be looking at the not first printing for getting some stuff done on a third issue. So I was like, you know what? I may as well have a hard copy of not first printing of Eniac number 1. So there we go. Eniac number 1 and number 2. First printing, and I think all of their further printings after the first printing are going to be called not first printing. And this one I picked up off the shelf. Nocterra number 2. I was okay with number 1, but I didn't put it on my pull list. And I had 9 comics, so I was like, I may as well get 10 comics. So I picked up Nocterra. We'll see how it is. Like I said, I liked the first issue all right, but it didn't thrill me that much. Another post-apocalyptic story. But hopefully I'll like issue 2. And this is the other one I picked up off of the shelf just for its cover. If you remember, I saw this in Comic Shop News, I don't know, a month ago. And I liked this cover on Bloom. So I was like, ooh, that's really cool. I don't think it's the same artist inside. Oh, there's some more covers in the back. Something about this artist's Muse, who, I don't know, turns evil or something. Something happens with this artist and his Muse. Something crazy. I don't remember what. But here he is, them working together in the woods. But I really liked that. I thought that cover was real cool. Who did that cover? Bong Dazzo? Does it give us his real cover artist? Bong Dazzo. That's his name. Bongdazo. And the inside is done by Ted Sikora and Butch Mappa. All right. But I liked it. It was the cover that sold me. So that's where we got with that one. And then I forgot about. I put the first issue of Silver Coin on my pull list and then forgot completely what it's about. I have no idea. Looks like a guitar player, Chip Zdarsky and Michael Walsh. The art looked pretty cool. Some more of that, I don't know what I'd call it. There's this, it's almost a generic style. This David Mazzucchelli, David Lapham indie style that has developed over the last 20 years. I don't know what to call it, but it kind of looks like this. I don't mean to diminish the artist or anything like that by saying, but I don't know what to call this style. Sort of like early 21st century indie style, because there's a lot of people who have sort of a similar style on indie books, but I don't know. I don't know what to call it, but I guess it caught my eye in the previews, so I put it on my pull list. We'll see what it's about. There's the latest issue of Savage Dragon. Always a good read. Was $2.58. Made in Korea. I'm not sure what that back thing caught my eye. Jeremy Holt, George Schall, Adam Wollett, Made in Korea. Remove box, power on, raise your child. All right, interesting back cover. This is one of the characters who's been hanging around for a while. He's some sort of tiger character, like, I don't know, Hobbes from Calvin and Hobbes, hanging out with the Savage Dragon's, one of his little girls. And I think in that issue where that he did that was all comic strip homages, I think they were Calvin and Hobbes in that homage. So more, I guess it's Christmas time. At least she's wearing a Christmas hat. More. There's Calvin and Hobbes. Oh, looks like they're doing a Calvin and Hobbes riff here with the snow, because Calvin and Hobbes used to sleigh ride. We'll see if that's what it is, but good stuff. Always good, Savage Dragon. I've got 258 issues of it now, so I like it. Then there's Geiger. This is by Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, and Brad Anderson. And I bought this because, well, besides the fact that they're good, when Doomsday Clock came out, I read the first couple issues of Doomsday Clock, and I was like, wow, these guys are so talented and putting such effort into Doomsday Clock. I wish it was a comic book I cared about. So here they are, putting out an indie comic, which I have a better chance of caring about. So I figured I'd give it a look. Oh, there's a little back. I was like, I have to pick this up because back when Doomsday Clock came out, I was like, you know what? I'd pick up a book of theirs if it was one I cared about. And here we go. And then we've got Fear Case. This is issue 3 of 4. Issue 3. Another Matt Kint story with Tyler and Hillary Jenkins. More paranoia Matt Kint stories about this case. There's this case that goes back thousands of years, and someone comes up and hands it to you and says, you have to, what was it? You have to give this case to someone you have to give this case to the person you hate most, or it'll go to someone you love. So it's just this weird paranoid horror story with these two Secret Service agents trying to track down the case. Fun stuff. And here's Deep Beyond, issue number 3. I picked up this 12-issue series. I picked up the first 2 one slow week. Once again, a post-apocalyptic story about, society's different. They're changing. These people are going outside. Most of that, see, they're in these spacesuits because most of the air will kill you, so you got to wear these suits. They're looking for this one girl's sister who might be alive out there, might be dead, blah, blah, blah. But this is also, I think, Italian or Spanish. We were discussing this on our Cavern of Chaos show when I first got them. Yes, it's Italian. It's Italian, but we think it's produced for the American market because it doesn't have that square European album format size. So this is an Italian company making a comic for the American market. And it was pretty well done. I enjoyed it. Then the last one I got here is Casual Fling. Is this number 3 or 4 also? Issue 3 or 4, that's up top. I've been enjoying this one, just sort of a slice of life. Woman gets involved with an extramarital affair, and the guy turns out to be a psycho, so now she's trying to get rid of him or something. Not quite that indie art that I was talking about in that. This is more a fine line version of it, but not quite that David Mazzucchelli, David Lapham indie art style, but something else in this one. But since it's mostly people in clothes, it looks very indie. All right, let me show you a little bit of artwork now. There's the big one I did last week, Somber Frog Meeting, this one's called. Because it was made up of 3 drawings, each one had that name, but This one has a little... I've been doing a couple of portrait ones lately, and this one's kind of portrait-like, but it's got 3 more faces. I think the ones I've been doing lately have been very flat in terms of the background. Like the backgrounds are geometric patterns rather than spaces, rather than like a landscape space. I'm just noticing that now. Like the only bit of landscape space is over here. Otherwise, it's like this is all... They're up against a wall with these, windows or pictures looking at them, but... Lots of different textures, lots of different lines in this one. I think her eye came out pretty. Some nice... I like the patterns in that one. So there you go. You got some comics, you got some art, and you guys have a good week out there.